Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. This is Thursday Night Live. This is the Mind and Mana channel here on YouTube. I'm Sonia Folayan, and I'm delighted to be here with you this evening with an amazing guest. But before I get started with introducing our guest tonight, I just wanted to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. I'm Sonia Folayan. I'm a cash flow and intentional living coach. I'm also a certified financial social worker and an award winning textile and visual artist. Um, I uh, use this channel to uplift the voices of Black women, 55 and older, or women who are thinking about retirement, women who are realizing that as they get closer to retirement, or maybe they're at retirement and they realize they don't have everything in place that they need to have in place. Um, just to provide some hope and a safe space to know that it's never too late. Wealth is in reach, and you can have what you want. For those of us who are a little bit who are or who were a little bit behind the eight ball, this channel is for you. And if any of these topics sound of interest to you, please do like, subscribe, share, and comment on the page, and let me know, since we're uh, broadcasting tonight live. If you catch this on the replay, please let me know when and where you saw this. Um, so I think that's all I wanted to say in terms of the housekeeping part. I'm here tonight to have a wonderful conversation with a good friend of mine, and actually someone who actually supports me in my business. And her name is Tajmah Allison. Uh, I had the wonderful pleasure of hosting Tajma and a group of amazing women in Mexico earlier in the year. They came down for a New Era Money Mastermind retreat, and we had a great time. So during that time, Tajma had a chance to immerse herself in the community, learn a little bit about San Nicolas de Ibarra and the Lakeside area. They were here for a short time, 4 or 5 days, but I want her to share her experiences in terms of what she learned about herself and the area. And so she can give you the lowdown on what she found out about Lakeside, Mexico. So, what I'm going to do now is turn the mic over to Tajma so that she can introduce herself properly. She's got so many great things going on, and then we'll begin the conversation. So, Tajma, handing over the baton to you.
Thank you, Sonia. So good to see you again. My name is Tajmah Allison. I am an artist, visual artist, also a yoga and fitness instructor here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so, yeah, I do a lot of things, creative things. Pretty much I paint on any surface that I am given the opportunity to do so. So I love the craft of painting murals, canvas work, woodwork. Um, I paint denim. Like I said, if it's a surface that can be painted, I don't mind painting.
So, tell us a little bit about your trip to Mexico. What kind of thoughts you had before you came? What, in terms of those thoughts, was confirmed, and what were the surprises? Because what the topic is the tea, spilling the tea on Lakeside, Mexico. So, what did you find out when you came?
All right. So, well, this was actually my first trip to Mexico. Um, and thank you for the warm welcome. You gave me lots of information to get myself prepared for the trip, what to expect. So that was very, very. Um, when I got there, the first thing that I noticed immediately is the contrast in the culture. Um, the people in Mexico, especially, San Nicolas, parts that I visited, are just very welcoming and warm, um, very inviting. Even though from day to day. Business was definitely being had. Services were being provided. It just seemed like every day was what we or I would consider a weekend, meaning that although people were working, they were just so enjoying what they did. It didn't even seem like work. Um, and of course, the flip side is true. When they were off work, it felt like every day was a festival. Every day was a celebration. I really noticed the celebration of life, almost in every moment of the day that I experienced, I interact with, and was able to just interact with on a daily basis. So that was very noticeable, very much so.
Did you have any preconceived ideas about what you would see and experience before you came? What were you thinking, or did you have any concerns? Um, most people have some concerns. What were you thinking about before you got here?
Well, honestly, I did my best to not have any preconceived notions about what I would experience, because I know that, first of all, it is a new place. And unfortunately, the US media tends to misrepresent reality when it comes to experience in other countries. So I was actually very open and excited to see what
Mm-hmm.
um, I would experience, and the fact that you were there already, and the information that you've given me, as far as your experience, it was comforting. To not assume the worst as far as violence or poverty or whatever that we have been, you know, what's been portrayed in the media. And so I was very, very open. And again, I felt very equipped because of the information you had in your email, as far as, what to expect, how to get from the airport to.
I think our screen is frozen again. I'm going to wait a few moments and see if it will unfreeze. Um, just really working through some technical issues with this platform, but I've also figured out I think it's some issues with the capacity of my CPU. So when I go back to the States, I'll be seeing about increasing the capacity. Are you back with us now, Tajma?
Oh, are you there?
Yes,
Hello?
the screen froze for a few minutes.
Yeah, I got a message that the connection had been lost.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was
So,
saying,
so we're,
I'm sorry.
no, I said we're here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so I was saying that I was actually excited to see what it would be like. And I was very pleasantly surprised, because of the freedom, not only in the people, but the energy. Um, I felt very, very safe at the house. I felt safe traveling the bus system, walking down the street, because everybody was just so pleasant and very family oriented, very family oriented.
Did you happen to see any police while you were here?
I did, and they seemed very um, much in service of the people and not intimidating. There was an instance where I can't remember the city that we had um, taken the bus out to, but it was one of the community. that had a lot of restaurants near the water. It might have been Chapala. But there was a disturbance that the police attended to because there was a gentleman, I guess he had a little bit too much to drink, and he was just gently carried out of one of the restaurants. But the police were um, they weren't aggressive. They just gently escorted him out. And there was, I don't know if it was wife or a girlfriend. She seemed to be a little bit upset and sad. Was, being arrested, but they just kind of casually talked to her, let her know, hey, this is happening. And, there was no aggression. So that was nice.
Okay. Were there any highlights of your experience? I know that you talked a lot about the architecture. You made a number of comments about the architecture.
Yes, I was absolutely blown away about the history that I immediately saw in, like you said, like the architecture, the buildings, the older buildings, the care that was as far as the craftsmanship, down to every little detail as far as like trim, tile, like bathroom tiles or door frames, the paint jobs, the colors were just so beautiful. Everything just looked handcrafted with care. And I just felt like every building that I entered was just almost like a piece of art, a masterpiece itself. So I really, really enjoyed looking at the details of the buildings, like I said, the craftsmanship and the care that clearly the people and pride the people have in the homes, buildings because here it seems like, a building after easily torn down. And then we have these new developments that's so cookie cutter and very inexpensively made as far as I'm concerned. But you can tell that the houses, the buildings were built with quality materials there. And again, they took so much time and energy in making the buildings look like pieces of art. Outside of the murals and everything on the exterior of some of the buildings, the craftsmanship on the insides of the buildings were pretty amazing to me.
I'm always amazed by how many of the shopkeepers and vendors, how many signs in the community are hand painted. That's been amazing to me. They're, literally paintings of the name of the business. People still, for the most part, they still do that by hand. And I think that's amazing. And, and I know that, having an artist's eye, that's striking. It's very striking. It's beautiful.
And I love the relationship between the people and the animal. That was definitely a difference for me. For example,
can you say?
I'm sorry. Do I need to repeat myself?
No, I was gonna say, can you speak some?
Oh
no,
yeah.
just
Okay.
Speak more on that.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's breaking up. But anyway, yeah, yes, I can. So, for example, something as simple as the street dogs in the country, like dogs roam very freely on the streets. They're not aggressive. They're either friendly or they don't care about you pretty much. They just walk and do their own thing, going about their way. And I know that, sometimes people like feed dogs. So having that relationship, and it's very, very much different from the dogs here in the US, where we obviously, have pet dogs as pets on leashes, mostly in the house, and they're very, very aggressive. So, for example, if they see someone that they're unfamiliar with, or they see another animal or dog, they just, have a tendency to bark. But in Mexico, the only time that I feel like I heard dogs barking was maybe in the morning when they were rousing. Maybe they were communicating with each other, but
Mm-hmm.
they were so non-aggressive on the streets, and that was really, really cool to see. I loved seeing like the horses, um, people of all ages, young people, middle-aged people, older person, riding the horses on the streets. That was really, really nice to see. Yeah, just the care. And I think the connection to nature in general over there is just so much different, even as far as the care that they have, as far as the food, the ingredients, the markets have, literal fish so fresh that they're still dancing on the tables, and in the store, just
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes they would be out of milk for the day because the milk hadn't been brought or delivered, the fresh milk. Um, and so the lack of processing was very, very impressive. Um, Fruit trees on the side of the street. It just seemed, I felt like I was in a completely different world, but in the best way. Yeah.
How would you compare the vibration, which is, I think you described it as even the weekdays seem like weekends. I think that's what you said. How would you compare that to what is often hustle and grind culture back home?
I feel like here, definitely people are just going to work, and of course we're all at some level are going to work to pay bills, right? But I feel like here in the US,
Right.
the emphasis is on making more money. So grind, 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 work morning, noon, and night to make more money, to buy flashy things or get to buy the big house and drive the flashy car. Um, and it's a very, very stressful way of living, because a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
people aren't necessarily working, they're doing a thing that they enjoy. They're working because trying to figure out what's going to make the most and the quickest money. But, just in the little bit of
Mm-hmm.
time that I'm there and observing the culture in Mexico, um, I felt like people were working to enhance their families' lives and culture. Of course, make income to support the family, but that was not like it's not like the priority of life. In Mexico, I felt like the priority is much more enjoying your family, coming together as a
Mm-hmm.
community, celebrating. Um, Even at work, people seem to be having more fun. People are coming together, um, and go outside and enjoy nature. Just living without all of that unnecessary. Um, I almost want to say baggage, meaning going after or pursuing like a materialistic way of living. It just seems like
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like their again their priority is coming home to enjoy family, enjoy life, to celebrate. The very short period of time I was there, I can't tell you how many times I ran into some sort of or heard some sort of festivity or celebration throughout the day and not. And yeah, it was almost like I think about the energy that we have maybe around the 4th of July or Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that same type of energy was like almost literally every night. Every time we went out throughout the day, people were relaxing and just celebrating and enjoying. And so that was definitely different for me.
I think that's a very astute observation too, because I read somewhere where Mexico has how was it described? It's it's one of the countries where people work the most, and you see it. You see people are selling things, and um, they have wares on the street. I mean, they're building all the time. But I think what you said was so important. But they're doing it in relationship to their family, or they're doing it with their family. Their family members are selling with them. They even women who have small children who have to work because there is a lot of poverty here, mother or their grandmother with them, and they have their snacks, and they've got their music playing, or they're making, and they're socializing with other people while they're working. um, even when I see the the men doing work on this, the construction work on the streets, what I notice is that they have their boom boxes playing in their heavy equipment vehicles, and they have beer. They
Yep.
have beer for their breaks.
Yep.
um, or or they'll take a nap
Mm-hmm.
outside of they'll take a nap, put their hat over their eyes, and actually take a nap on their break. So yeah, people are definitely working, and working a lot, but it's a different vibration. It's more of a communal thing. And the other thing that you noticed, that I have noticed too, is you really can't tell what's going on the inside of a home by the outside. You just don't know what's behind a set of doors or a set of gates. And they oftentimes, even in an area that looks like there's a lot of poverty, when you go behind those gates, you'll see that they have a courtyard, and they've got plants or a waterfall or something, but they save their beauty for their families, which I think is really lovely.
Absolutely. And the food, oh my goodness. The food was absolutely amazing. Yes.
Did you have a favorite dish while you were here? Did you have a favorite?
Um, I have a favorite. I think that maybe a favorite food experience. And I can't remember the name of it, but the restaurant that was connected to, I think, a hotel and a spa. Was it Paula?
Yes. Letras,
I don't.
it was in Chapala. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Letrache
But
is where you went, where you had
oh,
those big bones.
we had what?
You had those big beef bones.
Oh
You had those big beef
yeah,
bones.
the bone marrow. The thing. Oh yeah, the octopus. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely delicious. And I think there was either asparagus or Brussels sprouts. Yes, that was my favorite experience. And another thing, even just very similar to the housing situation, on the exterior, you might just, from our visual eye here in the States, the buildings may not look as inviting, but once you go into the space, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, it's almost like spa-like. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, so I was so very impressed about the restaurant and, the attached spa and hotel. But when we first pulled up, it almost looked like what we would consider almost like a warehouse front, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so into the building, and everything just seemed so fresh and inviting, and the food quality was amazing, and I'll be honest with you, since I've been back, I haven't had I haven't been out as much, but when I do go out, like nothing matches the food quality that I experienced in Mexico here in the U.S. This is
Wow.
as far as freshness,
Wow.
and well, you can tell the pride and the care that they put into the preparation of the food, because that is also an art. Um, so yeah.
Absolutely. 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 Um, can you share a few insights about your what you've come away with? You know, we're now in May. We're almost in June. Do you have any insights about your money? You did come for a money retreat, and you know we've been working together. Do you have any insights about your money, your relationship with money? Um, what it was like to be, you know, our first guest at the B&B. What can you share about those things?
I knew going in that I didn't have the best relationship with money, which is one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to attend the retreat. Um, and it's still an ongoing journey. However, the
Yeah.
retreat itself made me very aware of not only in ways in which I could be more mindful about where my money goes as far as spending or saving, or different avenues that I can put my money to, versus, you know, spending. um, and then also when it relates to business, just getting the information about how, you know, if you use the tools that are available, you can literally have your money working for you. You can put your money um, into, or use your money for business purposes. When it comes to, for example,
Mhm.
uh, saving your receipts and um, going on that particular trip, for example, because it was, you know, since it was a business um, trip, learning how to um, use these sorts of um, opportunities for travel, and and kind of write those things off, because you know you decided to say, okay, I'm going to go this place, but I'm going to be doing business while I'm here, and just having knowledge that that's
Mhm.
something to do. So that was very eye opening. Also realizing that um, you know, time is definitely not going to stop. So we need to be very intentional about, you know, getting serious about the money management and using money in the right way. And then also being enlightened about um, so many different opportunities um, to grow money, to gain, you know, in financial freedom and income. So that was very inspiring, um, to know that it is possible, with the right tools and guidance and the determination and work, that, you know, financial
Yes.
freedom is possible. And so, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then,
And you were our,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a little delay, I think. That's okay.
It's that, yeah, there's a little bit of a lag. I was just going to say, and, you know, and you were very helpful. You and the group of ladies were very, very helpful to us because you were our inaugural guests at the B&B. So, you know, your feedback was very important to us, and you know, helped you know helps us to be in a position to grow. So your feedback and your stay there was very, very important to us.
And it was such an honor to be a member of the first group. So I feel very honored to have had that pleasure. And it definitely was and will continue to be a pleasure. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we look forward to you coming back again. We're already putting the calendar together for the second half of the year. I know we'll be seeing you again.
Yes.
Um, do you have anything coming up in terms of your art practice or your yoga practice that we should know about?
Well, right now I'm actually working on a video series for some yoga offerings. So I'm actually in the process of filming some of my classes, and that will be being posted here pretty soon. As far as my artwork is concerned, I'm taking commissions right now, but I kind of stopped. Well, I kind of pulled back on a lot of the mural work and that sort of thing, because it's a beautiful thing, but it became a little bit. I was juggling a little bit too much with the murals and the physical demand that it has on the body. But so I just told myself I'd take a couple months off, but I'll be getting back into that
Okay.
maybe later on. Yeah.
Is there is there a website that we should know about?
Yes. So my website is www.theartoftaj.
Let me see if I can change it here.
Yep. And so it's www dot
Let me see.
and TheartofTaj. So the art of Taj.com. And of course, the website has some of my work, have links if you're interested in reaching out to me about art or yoga. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, so I offer Reiki sessions as well. And that's all there on the website.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can get it to go here.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Theartoftaj.com.
The Art of Taj.
Okay.
Yep, that's me.
Theartoftaj.com. So if you want to know more about Tajmah Allison's work, please go to her website, www.theartoftaj.com. She has some beautiful, stunning pieces, and she is a North Carolina working artist. Um, Check her out. She is taking commissions, as she said. So put real art on your walls. Put real art on your walls. Tajma creates some beautiful, beautiful pieces. And I think she's going to be making something for our B&B. I believe I heard her say that at some point in the past. So we will be looking to get those pieces, and hopefully we'll see you back in one of our residency programs as well. Um, but yes, please check out her work. She does beautiful work. Support local artists. If you're in North Carolina, support North Carolina artists, and please support the work of Tajmah Allison. So I just want to tell you thank you for being here tonight, Tajmah. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for agreeing to share this information. I believe it'll be helpful for others who are wanting to know more about this area and who are thinking about coming to visit. So thanks for your contribution, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.
It's been a pleasure, Tanya.